Hi, Chris. My name is Corey. It's great to meet you today. Thank you so much for coming in. I know starting counseling can feel a little different or even uncomfortable at first. How are you feeling about being here?
Sure. Don't really know how to feel about this. This kind of feels like something I want to do, but it was necessary for me to do.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people can feel that way during their first session, especially when things in life are changing or you're going through something very big at the moment. I just want you to know that you're not alone in that. All right. So, before we dive in, I just want to go over a few things about our counseling session. What we talk about here stays confidential unless there's a risk of harm to yourself or someone else. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
All right. That sounds great. So, what brought you in today? What made you decide to give counseling a try right now?
Honestly, I just feel like I've been struggling to kind of figure out how to, I guess, in a way, uh, blend in or I guess move with the pack, so to speak, try to figure out how to be a bit more normal again. Is what I struggle with this. I guess find a sense of belonging. So,
Okay. So you mentioned looking for a sense of belonging and could you mind telling me what happened that made you feel like you don't belong or is making it hard for you to connect back
well,
into society?
or what's making it hard for me to connect back to society.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for starters, barely been out of, jail for a couple of months now. I'm still trying to get back together on that front. It's been it's been rough. I don't know how to kind of react, I guess, and and where where I belong in any aspect.
Okay. Having trouble reacclimating, you were in prison a couple months ago. Can you tell me a little bit about what life has been like since you got out?
Hold uh, uh, only. Uh, the only thing that keeps me going is just following the same daily schedule as much as I can. Just keeping that regimen of sorts if possible, when possible.
Okay. W- What does that regimen look like for you?
That would be just be able to wake up relatively early in the morning, 5 to 6, go get some have my own food, I guess, breakfast, then go throughout the day. Right now it's trying to find work, or when I have work, it's going to work, keeping some time to myself. After the fact, I try to still read, try to still do things like that, right? Keep myself as occupied as possible mentally after everything, and then just go to sleep early. It's that day in, day out.
Okay. So you've been out a few months and you're doing your best to start over, but it's been frustrating facing all these barriers, kind of looking for work or continuing holding a job or just feeling like you're able to reacclimate back into society properly.
Yeah.
Okay. Is, well, I guess you know what, let's start here. What kind of work were you hoping to get into?
Really anything with my hands, whether it's construction or woodworking, painting, and anything kind of, I guess, more blue collar related is what I'm trying
Okay. So construction, something physical, steady, where you can see the results of what you've done. That sounds like meaningful work for you.
to do. Yeah, I guess it would be.
Okay. So how's that been?
It's been it's been going. Uh, it just feels like kind of I guess in this situation, I guess the crew I work with is I'm just kind of a man out. No, just hard to feel like I'm progressing something when there's no one there to, I guess, share that progress with. So minuscule steps forward. And it's just kind of been that way with who I've joined up with.
Okay. So you've been facing a lot of change, um, possible rejection and, possible trouble, learning to cope with what you've been facing, um, since getting out.
Yeah.
Okay. And it sounds like, you know, finding this job now kind of sounds like it's a new experience for you. And I know this new experience can be hard given your past, and it brings up some feelings of uncertainty.
I guess, yeah, that sounds accurate.
Okay. So when you think about what brought you in here today, what would you say that you would hope to get out of counseling?
I guess a redefined sense of self, um, comfort in myself or in my solitary being, being able to just, I guess, exist on my own and reacclimate to the way it is. I guess life is normally for everyone.
Okay. So you're looking for stability and direction, kind of a way to build a life that feels different than the one you had before.
Yeah, I'd say that sounds right.
Okay. Earlier, you did mention that you wanted to kind of like stay out of trouble. What do you think helps you do that, or what makes it hard sometimes?
I don't know. What makes it hard? I guess once you're already kicked to a certain point, it's like, what else is there to lose, really? It's a make or break situation. I make it, I get out of this trouble. I break, then I mean, I stand to lose nothing. I'm still taken care of. Uh, as far as that's what makes it difficult, I guess. What was the other part of your question?
Um, what do you think helps you do that, or what makes it hard sometimes to stay out of trouble?
I would say that's what makes me do it, is that kind of reality of how I feel right now. It's trying to climb a ladder, and the whole time my hands are getting stomped on. So it's like I'm only a foot off the ladder, a foot off the ground. If I fall off because my hands hurt now, it's better than if I fall off 20 feet up. I guess it's just right now in its easiest moments. That's what is the most tempting factor of it.
So it kind of sounds like there's maybe a pool, um, this pool situation you have going on where part of you wants something better for yourself, but sometimes it feels like another part is stuck in its old patterns and connections, and you kind of have this thing of, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's kind of a pattern. It's occurring. So yeah,
Okay. Now, I'd like to ask you a question actually. What does a good day look like for you now?
now I'm not too sure. I guess a good day looks like a just a normal, the most boring, usual day you can think of. Nothing crazy, nothing that stands out. Just get up, do your little morning ritual, whatever it is you do to include myself, I guess. Go to work, work, finish with work, come back, have a meal, and have a night in. To me, that sounds like a good day.
Okay, that does. So structure, staying active, avoiding any negativity, that seems to really help you get through the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so you've been through a lot. What do you think helps you keep going despite all of this?
Why not? Persist, I guess, out of spite in some way. Just not make an active attempt to maybe separate myself as much as possible. I guess just at least try. It just feels like it's the minimum I can do.
Okay. Now, you've shown a lot of awareness already, kind of noticing these triggers and the patterns or people that might pull you back in. That is a very strong first step. Yeah. W- Out of today's session, what would be the main thing you would hope to kind of get out of it?
If I've made a good step in the right direction already, where do I go next?
Okay. Because I know we talked about your job and I know we talked about how hard it's been finding work or kind of work that you like doing and the rejection that comes with your past. Is a focus on finding you a really good job, would that be a pretty important highlight for you?
I would say that would be, yeah.
Okay. Then okay, we can kind of move forward with a few different things. We can work together on maybe um skill building or resume building or just small things that'll help you feel more prepared when it comes to continuing looking for a job that's going to feel fulfilling for you. I think we can start with those minor things together. Does that sound pretty good to you?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Seems like the right next step.
Okay. So, how would you feel if I were to, possibly connect you with a reentry program or job resource center within the community?
I don't think it hurt.
Okay.
I just don't know where to start.
That's fine. That's completely okay. I can provide you with some contacts before you leave today. That way we can get you moving in the right direction.
Be appreciative of that.
Okay. So, how are you feeling about everything we've talked about so far?
Feels like, I don't know, maybe an inch forward in understanding what I can do.
An inch forward. That's good. So, it feels good to finally maybe let some of that out to be heard without judgment.
Yeah.
Okay. And, that tells me that you're ready for change and that you've already taken some steps towards change.
Yeah. I'd say you're right about that.
Okay. Um, so what does success look like for you 6 months from now?
I'm not too sure. Um, I guess a little more financially stable. Maybe not able to prop myself up on my own 2 feet yet, but getting there, getting to my own freedom in a way, taking care of myself. I'd say that.
Okay. So stability and freedom. Those are those are very powerful words. And it sounds like it's something you haven't had for a long time,
I'd say so, yeah.
right? You definitely deserve that, and I believe it is very possible. We just have to take it one step at a time.
Reasonable.
Okay. So before we wrap up, I'd like to kind of summarize what we talked about today to make sure that I got it right. Okay. So you shared that adjusting after prison has been very challenging. Um, Finding work, housing, getting up on your own 2 feet and facing people's judgments. Um, but we did also discuss you have very strong motivations to keep pushing forward. Um, Being here today, right now, is a very huge step in the moving forward process. And we discussed your desire for stability and for freedom and your goal to live differently than you were living before. And you've taken steps toward work and towards training, and you are open to connecting with community resources. Does that sound accurate?
I'd say so.
Okay. All right. So great. I think for our next session, we can focus more on coping tools for stress and maybe get some small weekly goals in. How does that sound?
That sounds fine.
Okay. I really appreciate your honesty and openness today. I know that this is not easy, and I can already tell that you are very serious about change.
Thank you for listening.
And I just wanted to say thank you so much for trusting me with your story. I look forward to continuing this work together and helping you get to your end main goal, which would be finding more stability and freedom for yourself.
Thank you.
And I'll go ahead and give you community resources and reentry programs that will help you feel better about yourself when it comes to applying for jobs or when it comes to kind of re-entering society.
Thank you.
And we can go ahead and move forward on working on skills building and resume building, and I'll be here to help you every step of the way.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Chris. It was very nice to meet you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye.